Ladies and gentlemen, we finally made it. Highlander from Stack Labs and from many other places. You guys have probably seen him around Nerd Quarter on Twitter, all sorts of other places. But we've been talking about getting our resident expert in to talk about Atom, to talk about Cosmos and the ecosystem, and exactly what's happening, how it's all growing, and why we should all be building pretty large positions. So we finally got him on. Highlander, thank you for joining, my friend.
Hi JP, okay. Hello everybody. Glad to be on. So today, well, you know me, I've been working on Cosmos, developing Juno smart contract platform, which will be hopefully be released in the 1st of October.
Cool.
And yeah, so I'm just full on Cosmos at the moment, and I just want to share hopefully some videos on how you can trade on Osmosis and get your funds into Kepler, just the basic stuff. If we get it on video, show JP and he can clip this and do a decent video for everybody on the stream.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. And I talked about it in the Stack Labs chat a lot. You've been telling me to get on for a while, and I was a little bit late in doing it. And you poked fun at me earlier today where it was like, yeah, if you end up like Jared hoping for the dip, and it's exactly what happened. It's exactly what happened. It was like I was a little bit slow in moving my stuff on, and if somebody had created the video that we're about to create right now, then I would have gotten on a lot quicker, right? Like that's the whole point. So hopefully we can build that up, and you know, since we started talking, I'm very impressed with Cosmos and Atom, and I've said this even in the chat, and I've said it to you personally. Every single person that I've asked about Cosmos, Adam said it's phenomenal, extremely well built, extremely secure, really, really good, and it's just growing like crazy. So I'm super pumped to talk about this. So you said you've been developing. We got some stuff that's coming out here. Any additional background you want to give before we kind of jump into it? Because I know we're a little bit tight on time. You're in the UK, I'm over here. So any additional background you want to give on where things are or things that are about to roll out before we kind of jump into the nitty gritty of getting set up?
Yeah, sure. So Osmosis was the first AMM built on Cosmos.
Okay.
So it enabled everyone to just inject Atom on board and be able to trade the other Atom sort of projects and be able to move stuff around. For the gas fees are just amazing. I couldn't tell you the last time I traded on Ethereum because each time you go to swap a coin, you're $60, $70. It's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
And for people that have not got a big stack, you know, most of the profits wiped out by just doing a swap simply on MetaMask or whatever you want to swap on.
Sure.
If you fuck up on Cosmos, it ain't so bad because it only costs you 1 cent to move it all around again.
Sure.
So it's all good. So it's a great way of learning that way because you can really just move your funds in and out of LP positions. And, you know, I don't like that. So get it out of there. And it's just, it costs you nothing, you know. With what I did was just, it's very like Uniswap, very like, in fact, it's just the code copied, and it just enables you to get stuff in Atom ecosystem, and you know, it feels good. The prices are going up. I've doubled my stack in the space of a month.
Yeah,
and
I wish I had too if I listened to you the first time.
Well, this is that, you know, it's as I mentioned to you on a private chat, you know, at Ada Dot, all these other ecosystems, they spent all their funds that they raised on marketing, right?
Yeah.
Whereas Atom spent all their funds on developers.
Sure.
And started developing stuff. And now it's actually coming out. And I think we're slowly but surely, depending on what Bitcoin does, obviously, Bitcoin's just pulling the plug on everything at the moment. But I think my Atom positions have held pretty well. As if I was holding any Ethereum stacked coins, I would be in trouble at the moment.
Sure.
I would be getting eaten alive right now. So there's that. That's another subject, obviously. But
no doubt, no doubt.
The only thing it's just kind of missing, and it's rolling out, is the stablecoin coming on. And E-Money have just announced that very recently, saying that they're going to go on board with IBC technology, which connects all the chains together. And we'll have a stable coin where in days like these, when we're down 20%, we can just flip to stables on Atom. Very simple.
Yeah.
You know, so I cannot be super bullish. And even I think with the May drop that we had there, I really did. Yeah, it was touching cloth, so to speak. But this time round, do you know what? I'm not even bothered because I'm so bullish on the Cosmos. It don't matter I can fundamentally feel so strong about this project. So
I got to be honest, watching the relative strength of Atom over the past couple of days has been pretty impressive. And, I talk about it all the time. Relative strength's all that matters. And Atom, a few others that we've talked about that are doing very, very well right now in a similar vein. And like, obviously, it's not like we can't say things like Avalanche and whatever, but
brilliant.
Avalanche is great, and it sounds like Atom is doing things in a more secure manner, which obviously matters to me quite a bit because my history. I'm not going to talk about it here, but security matters, and you guys are doing the right thing. And I'm going to point out, because we're going to talk about it right here. I was initially a little bit hesitant to get onto Atom because I had a personal security issue and I wanted to get set up with a hardware wallet, and I don't like to work with hot wallets. And that's what kind of kept me slowed down. We're going to go through it today. I finally went through and I did that. It was a lot easier than I thought. We're going to talk about it here. And now I'm like, oh my gosh, I already messaged like 4 or 5 people in Telegram. This was today to say, you need to buy a ledger. You need to get on Atom because this is going to be the next big thing. So I'm pretty excited to roll into this. And I think people are going to follow. There's going to be a bigger rush than even what we've seen on Avalanche at the time. Yeah.
Yeah, good. And I don't know much about Avalanche. I know it's a good project. I know it's strong. It's just when you have one ecosystem you're sort of working on, it's hard to delve into other ecosystems.
I understand.
But
yeah.
I don't mind communicating with other folk because I have a personal group myself. One lad's on like EDA, he's all over it, and there's another lad on Polkadot, and it's all about working together and all the information we can gather together. Cosmos is like flying, and what I'm seeing being built is just, it's incredible. They're solving real world problems, man. Sure. Seriously. So,
and one last question for you before we kind of hop into this: how did you get involved in of all things, you personally, into Atom or Cosmos? I mean, it could have been, you and I talked about your history a little bit. You don't have to divulge a ton of that, but how did you end up in Atom or Cosmos of all places?
Well, it's a great community for a start.
Sure.
Built on like great validators, and it's all about, very important that you document stuff that you're doing and you're building and maybe issues that you've fixed. See if you can document that for people that are just coming into this industry that do not even know how to work a wallet. See, just writing a simple Medium article on how to do these things, it goes a long way.
Sure.
And that's what happened to me. I read one SG1 validator, who are now good friends of mine, for about, let's say, 18 months. I've had developers showing me how to do stuff. It's took me 18 months to actually build a validator and get it working and actually know how it operates. And just a couple of days ago there, I've went live on a mainnet called It's Key Network. It's built on Cosmos. It's an amazing project. And I'm on mainnet now, validating it, securing the network.
Sure.
It's all about community. It's all about communicating, being respectful to people, asking the right questions, and actually giving it a go yourself. And that's it. And obviously, yourself, JP, it's nice to have a little bit of skin in the game as well,
Sure.
If you've got some funds you can throw in there and you can show you're committed. Tell you can get foundations backing your validator and bumping you up that set, So I can go into that another day with you, how to do validation, because it is an important part of crypto as a whole.
Of course. Yeah. Yeah. No, very, very good stuff. Very good stuff. All right, so do you want to dig into anything else overarching? Like if somebody, before we kind of hop in just straight into, how to get set up, how to go. Let's say that I'm a person who has who has traded on Ethereum.
Yeah.
Who has traded on, let's say, Binance because I heard about SafeMoon or because I, got onto some nonsense and believe me, it's silly, but that's how that stuff happens. Like people hear about a tweet about SafeMoon going 10 million%, and so they get set up on Binance Smart Chain. It's weird. That's how that stuff happens. So people's paradigms are like, I know about Ethereum, I know about Dogecoin because of Elon, and I know about Binance because I heard SafeMoon did a trillion%. So let's take that paradigm of like your normal user on EVM, right? Ethereum virtual machine.
Yeah.
Help me understand Cosmos and Atom relative to that experience a little bit, if you wouldn't mind.
Well, Ethereum was amazing. There's no doubt about it. They are the pioneers. And you imagine if the gas fees were cheap on Ethereum. I think I looked at my total gas fees accumulated over the history of me on crypto. And it's something like 25 grand.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, I was nearly sick. I couldn't believe it. I was like, it's nearly a fucking year's wage.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that was one thing. But they are the pioneers. The stuff they've built is amazing. You know, everybody else on the other ecosystems are building pretty much the same thing Ethereum's did, but they're just making it a wee bit better now, and it's safer. Because Solidity as a coding is actually quite hackable if you don't know what you're doing.
Sure.
And there's backdoors into, you know, wallets that can just, you know, there you go. Look at who are we talking about? Matic, Polygon.
Yeah, Polygon, yeah.
That was phenomenal, man, you know, and I think I don't quote me on this, right? But I'm pretty sure they returned the funds, but they proved the point that their code was rubbish.
That's right.
It was actually, and I think they got a reward for it. But that's just incredible. And what a community.
It was like, what, $600 million, $800 million, something like that?
It was quite big.
Yeah.
Quite big. So, Cosmos, on the other hand, is built on it's called Tendermint SDK, right? So you imagine a hub.
Okay.
This is the machine, okay? Now, everybody has other blockchains that connect to it. So it branches out. Now, you think of Cosmos as the universe that we know. It's just everything's intertwining and working together and all that kind of vibe.
Sure.
Now, Cosmos was designed the exact same way. There's a hub called Hub 4 at the moment. All these other blockchains are connected to it. So they're all built on the framework. So any other chain that just enables IBC technology just literally can send fucking any coin to any blockchain very easily. You know what I mean? So
interesting.
There's no other ecosystem that can do it, mate, and that's a fact. You even have to use bridges that are really unsafe, that you're potentially opening a key or opening a channel for someone to get in and hack it because you're transferring a blockchain across a bridge. Whereas if you're using IBC, the funds technically don't leave the chain. It just sends a packet and it says it's like IOUs going around between the place. So you can't physically get in and steal the coins. So it's not really a bridge. It's just a little mail of a packet saying, you know, I've just sent this.
Interesting.
Then they scan the blockchain and they catch up with the data from the other chain from the hub. And the hub validates it, but then everybody else on the other chains have their own validator set. So they look after their own shit. Do you know what I mean? It's not like Polkadot. Polkadot is like Polkadot's parachains, right?
Yes.
Yeah. It has got this big main system, but that main system's validating everything. So if something fucking happens to that dot main system, the whole thing goes down, mate. Do you know what I mean? That doesn't happen with Cosmos. Cosmos, if one chain goes down, if Osmosis goes down tomorrow, it don't bring Cosmos Hub down with it. Do you know what I mean?
Sure. So a little more independent, similar, I guess, similar idea is DOT, but a little bit more independently run, less of a critical piece where if something goes down, it's the house of cards isn't coming down with it.
Yeah, exactly. And you can only, I think you can only get 128 blockchains running on it. Right. So whereas Cosmos, you can run as many as you want.
Yeah. What was the example you said to me? Like if I wanted to start my own blockchain, you could do it in like a weekend.
I can spin you one up right now, mate, using Starport. Easy.
That's hilarious. That's something I need to look into.
Name whatever coin you want. It'll just appear.
That'd be hilarious. That'd be absolutely hilarious. No, that's very, very cool. So it's a way for things in like the way you just described the IBC protocol, just like amazing. How the packets they go back and forth. It sounds just like a credit and debit system, right?
Jared,
like it's a ledger.
Look at this, man. This is the protocol for it. It's about 900 pages long, man, this thing. And I printed every page of it.
Really?
And it's all about just learning the terminology of what they're talking about. But the technology is just, it's so amazing.
Interesting.
Anybody enables this is in there. Do you know what I mean? And as soon as Ethereum comes on, man, it's game over.
Yeah. Well, the stables is a big idea because I imagine if stables are on there, it will invite more money, right? Like more money markets will come on, additional staking, I mean, it's a game changer. And if that's happening now, it sounds like a pretty good time to get on. So that's pretty darn cool.
Super bullish. I just hope Bitcoin sorts itself out and has a little talk to itself. Because it's dragging everything down with it at the moment, and it's not nice, is it? But we'll see how it happens. Yeah. We'll let you analyze that properly.
Sure, no doubt. All right, so let's kind of pivot over here, and we can continue talking here. But I'm going to go to our screen shares. So we'll do a little transition here.
Excuse me.
Oh yeah, no problem. All right, so you can't see this, but everybody at home can. Now we are both on the screen, as is your screen share. So we are live here where you can kind of give us the rundown. So what are we looking at here? You have control.
Yeah, so this is the home page of Osmosis Zone. So if you just basically Osmosis.
Yep.
Dot zone.
Osmosis dot zone. Okay. Yep.
Yeah. And then I'm already sort of connected to the lab, but if you go and enter the lab, it should ask you to do a sort of signing transaction on Kepler. Are you seeing that?
I've not done it yet, so no. But
it's up to you. You can just follow the steps later. I'm
sure
cool with that. I'll do it slow enough. But once you do the signing transaction, your wallet appears, okay? And you'll have a balance of, once you send your Cosmos into it from your ledger, you copy this address here. That's your Cosmos Kepler address, all right?
Sure.
You need to go back to Ledger and transfer and send your Atom to that address that I've just copied.
Gotcha.
Tony, completely ignore that. It's just another account I have. Okay, so that's just ignore that.
Okay.
This will be JP or whatever you name it.
Basically.
Sure. So that's your wallet address, your Cosmos address. Now, notice with Cosmos coins or ecosystem coins that you have address with the name in front of the address. You see that?
Yep.
Right? And if I go to Osmosis, you have a little Osmo in front of your address.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Cool, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
So it's sort of, secret network. Oh, hello, secret. So all that kind of vibe on it, right? So go back to Cosmos. So then, let's say you've done the transaction and you have a balance now in your Kepler wallet. For instance, I've got 30 Atom. You're in, okay? You've got it on it's like MetaMask. You've got it in there now. Now, Osmosis, if you just, you have trade, so it's basically Uniswap vibe. You can trade Osmo to whatever.
Yep.
Atom to whatever IBC enabled coin. That's crypto.com there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's already enabled. Persistence, Region, Iris, DVPN, all good projects. That cache is amazing as well. So anyway, we can swap between any of the IBC enabled tokens, which will be increasing over time once everyone enables the technology.
Sure.
So if I want to simply just to one Atom and to give me 6 Osmo, all right, swap fee. All just the Uniswap stuff. If you've used Uniswap, you will find this
pretty standard.
Familiar. I'm going to just swap now. For you, you will have your ledger connected to Kepler, which is slightly a different thing. I can show you that. It just basically says approve, and then it asks you to do the code on the ledger.
Yep.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
If you've not got a ledger enabled, it will just look like this. So I am basically going to swap this coin and look at the high gas fee. 9 cents.
Tell you what. You go broke with those kind of fees.
I'll tell you what, man. It's like there's zero for average.
I know. That's crazy. I'm obviously joking. That's nuts. That's great.
And then you go up to the top right hand side and you see transaction broadcasting. There you go. We're done. Same vibe with Ether Mint Explorer. Ether Scan.
Yep.
Explorer. You can do the same. It's called Mint Scan.
Mintscan.io. They can't see your URL, but I'll have it all out, and I'll do a little deal so they can see.
Yeah, you can do that, but you have when transaction's successful, you have a View Explorer option that you can click right into your transaction.
Oh yeah, cool.
Show you what's happened in there. All right, so same vibe as Ethereum. So if you've used Uniswap, you shouldn't find this very difficult at all. You should find it pretty simple. Now, I have got a balance of Osmo now as well as Atom. So if I go to for me personally, I flip to assets to see what's going on in my portfolio. And at the moment, you can see available balances, what I just swapped there, 6.7 Osmo.
Sure.
And there's my remaining Atom. Now up here, mate, total assets. Why is that so high? Because it's accumulating all the bonded assets that I've did. Like these are all my pool positions, these LP positions that I've got going on. So just ignore that. Don't let that confuse you. Available assets is what is basically in here. Again, don't let that confuse you. It's very simple. Once you go in and play around with this, things will just become clear. And I do promise that.
Sure.
Now, if you want to join a pool, do you want me to show you how to do that?
Yeah.
That's important.
Yeah.
So if we use these two balances here, and let's LP them in a position, okay? So go to pools. Now, these are incentivized pools. Now, look at the APRs for just, sorry, I've just clicked on there.
No, that's all right.
Here we go. Incentivized pools. You have almost 200%, some 200% for.
Yeah, there's some good ones in here. 200, 234, 219.
Exactly, mate. Now, I remember when I was banging on about Osmosis, brother, right? These were up at 5,000% at one point. It was like when we were hitting a pretty downtrend on Bitcoin, and when I was saying Osmosis has basically relit the bull run on its own, that's what was happening. It was basically turning my portfolio upwards when everything else was going down.
Yeah, sure.
And I think there's the price of Osmo at the moment. So the two coins that I own now here is Atom and Osmo. So you can pull these two because you have them as a balance. So you just jump into there. Now, pool liquidity is the maximum amount of liquid that's in the pools from everybody.
Sure.
Right? So 170 million in there. It's going to take some movement to really get a impermanent loss going on that, because 170 mil is quite a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
My liquidity in this pool at the moment is 17 grand, right? So I'm earning, depending on these are your bonding days, how long you want to leave it in for. If you click withdraw, basically, it'll take a day to come out, and it'll give you a lower percentage.
Got it.
Or if you click, it'll give you 7 days if you want to get a wee bit more extra, and like 14 days if you click withdraw, you'll get a wee bit higher. Personally, mate, I just stick to a day, because if something really bad happens, I want to get my shit out of there.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Do you know what I mean? But if you're confident and you don't care about the prices going down because you know you're going to go back up in the long run, then go for it. 14 days at then.
Yeah.
As you can see, I've kind of done a bit of both on this one.
Sure.
You just go to add and remove liquidity, and it shows you the balance that I was showing you earlier on. In my assets page. 9 Atom and 6.7 Osmo. Does that look familiar? You can always just go back to assets and check that.
Yep. Yeah, easy enough. I mean, that's pretty straight LP, right?
Right. Okay. And basically, I am just going to provide liquidity on this. Now, remember this, very important. The gas fees get paid on this. Osmo is the thing that pays the gas fees. So always remember to keep a balance of Osmo. Just keep one Osmo in, and it should cover anything. So if I want to just pull 9 Atom, obviously I can't do that because that'd be 54 Osmo. So let's just go, remember, keeping a balance of Osmo, I'll just go 6.
Sure.
0.78. I'll just add that liquidity. Obviously big money is a lot better than this, but here we go. You can obviously edit the gas if you want. That's going to go through pretty fine. Set gas, providing liquidity to the pool now, and it'll give you LP tokens. And then the LP tokens you use to farm. If you've ever done some farming before, you'll recognise that kind of structure. Now, here you go. That transaction's gone through. It's shown a balance of $69 in LP tokens. You click Start Earning, and this is you farming.
Okay. Got it.
Okay, you're going to get Osmo now.
Yeah, it's an extra step. Yep.
Max that out, and you're going to bond it for a day or 7 days or 14 days.
Sure.
Up to yourself. Click bond. Now this one is a little bit more gas fee. It's asking for 3.9 million. Is that right? Yeah. So just make sure that is enough. It's asking, just see this goes through. But again, it's a bit of perseverance and remembering that to keep an Osmo balance positive to pay for the gas fees. I think it's 10 to 5 here in the UK, and the rewards happen every day for me at 6 o'clock. They pay you out.
Oh, that's funny.
And because of the amount of liquidity I've put in, I'm getting 40 Osmo per day.
Sure.
And it's it's a wage. It really is a wage. But we're just waiting for us to, it does take its time sometimes, mate, if you don't put the gas fees through.
Well, I mean, look, I have.
Like anything, really, isn't it? You might want to edit this, but...
No worries. I'm not
right, there you go. Right, so obviously that failed because the gas fee is not right. So what's my balance here? If I cut myself short. Osmosis, 0.78. Might have just left myself a bit short here with Osmo Sunshine. Let me just do a. You can follow along here. This is what you do. You can go back to trade.
Sure.
I'm just going to swap more Atom to Cosmos. Sorry, to Osmosis. Don't worry about that. Ignore that. Close that. I think I've just clogged it up a little bit, mate. 1 second.
It's interesting though when you think about it, because like you are essentially like jumping from, Cosmos to, or from Atom to Osmo to whatever, like back and forth. It's interesting. I guess if you were switching to something different, you have to hold a little bit of that token to use, just like anything else, right? It's not like you just hold Ethereum or you just hold AVAX or you just hold BNB. You kind of have to keep that in mind, right?
Exactly. One more thing I got to show you though, but it's how to get it, how to do the IBC transaction. Let me just finish this off for you. So
yeah,
I think it's went through, mate. So that's now at 0, so that shows that it's bonded. Okay, so that worked eventually.
Sure.
Right? So let me just go to assets now. Now this is the other thing you need to know. This is I should have said this first. I do apologise.
No, you're fine.
This is I've got a balance of 30 here on my Kepler wallet. Why is it not showing in Osmosis? You may ask yourself, why can't it see it? It's because you've got to do the IBC transfer. Osmosis chain cannot read your Cosmos balance because it doesn't know it's there. You need to do that IBC transaction from Cosmos Hub. Your Cosmos then goes in an IBC packet into Osmosis chain, and then it reads it, and that's when you can just do trades in between. I'll show you now, and it's a little bit to get your head around, but it's very simple. The IBC is the gel. It just connects all these different blockchains and all these different coins, mate.
Okay.
You need to do IBC transfer for them to talk to each other. It's as simple as that. So if I go and if I go to Cosmos and you go to deposit, because you're depositing into Osmosis, it then reads my balance on Kepler.
I see.
So I want to just move 10 Atom from my Kepler, from my Cosmos chain. You can see it from the addresses, Jared. If you look, that's my Cosmos address.
Yes, I do see it.
Osmo address.
I do see it.
It's moving it from that chain into the next.
Okay.
Let's do 10. They do, this IBC wasn't built for the amount of transactions. They're working on making it bigger. Because, Osmosis didn't think it was going to be this huge. It's nearly like 500 million total value locked planned.
Sure.
They did not expect it to be this big. So they're just scaling. I want to just make that really ridiculous. So that costs, something on Ethereum, it would cost you maybe, if the gas is at 90, this would cost you about $180 to do.
Yeah. Yeah, you just absolutely crank it.
Because you're using quite a lot of computation to do this transfer. As I say, be patient with it. It's, it will go through. Just let it be. Go and do something else for a couple of minutes. That's how you get used to it. I just want to ask everybody, be patient, because as soon as you start losing the rag and it's not going to work, just let the transaction go through. The miners will get to it. It's as simple as that.
Yeah. Well, look, it's still developing, right? And
as I say, they're scaling, mate. So
right.
Still trying to work things out, but the technology is there and it's not fell over on itself yet, so that's good news.
Well, clearly, and like you can see the demand is there and people are starting to wake up. You can just look. I mean, you guys can't see my screen right now, but if you just look at what's happened to Atom, I mean, if you go back to August 18th, okay, that was a month ago.
Yeah.
It was Atom was Atom was $14, right? Right? So like we went from 14 to 44 in 30 days. That's pretty nuts.
Yeah, it's brilliant. And out of nowhere, I think it just and you know what? Atom aren't even pushing marketing yet. I don't even think it's went parabolic yet.
No, it hasn't. This isn't shit. So like from I'm a TA guy. From a TA perspective, this is nothing. Yeah. This is nothing.
I just think it's not even hit price discovery yet.
No, because if you look at volume on, I'm looking at Coinbase, and obviously Coinbase isn't the end all be all, but I look at Coinbase because that's where, in my opinion, a lot of people who are going to bring in crazy money will do it. The volume bars, even on those updates, were not that crazy for it to move that much. So imagine when they do get crazy, what it could do is how I see.
It's amazing, mate, and I'm so glad I've stopped it. It's just because I love it. That's all it was.
Yeah.
See, if I didn't study the technology, or if I wasn't trying to be a validator, I'd have probably lost interest myself. Because when you're invested in something, you really do notice how bullish it can be. You start believing in it, and you just know it's a matter of time. There you go. Can you see my transactions went through?
Yep.
IBC transfer successful, and the balance is now showing a positive 10.
Okay? Yeah, got it.
And then you can, that Cosmos liquid is now in there for you to do what you want with it.
Sure.
It's in the sort of blockchain now, and it all works fine.
Sure. No, I mean that's I think that's worth noting, because some people might look at that and go, well, I mean that took quite a long time compared to something else. However, I want to make the point. This is a positive. The level of security that's happening to change, essentially, those are different blockchains, right? Like it's a change in blockchains. To be able to move from one to another, to be able to operate and do it securely, is what we just talked about. So that is the equivalent of bridging from Ethereum to AVAX, but doing it more securely. Okay, that's what just happened there.
How hard is it for you to go and swap something from Ethereum into Phantom? Fuck about on Phantom, bring it back out, get it back. It's just,
that's right.
There's one transaction I've just did there.
Yeah.
And it's got it in.
Yeah. So I wanted to make sure people aren't like, well, fuck, why did that take so long? All he did was trying to do a transaction. No. That wasn't just like I was trying to buy something on Uniswap. That was bridging, is what just happened there. That was not just like I wanted to go to Uniswap and buy something. Okay, even on I've been obviously on Avalanche a lot lately. Even on Avalanche, which has the best bridge that's ever been created from Ethereum. Okay, hands down, not even close. And anybody who says anything otherwise is lying from Ethereum. It's 8.5 minutes. It's 8.5 minutes.
Wow.
Okay. It's 8.5 minutes. Yours was just 90 seconds. Okay. That was 90 seconds to switch chains. That's not that bad. And not significantly more securely. Okay. It's a big deal. So think about that for a second. People that are viewing this later on to go, well, what's this about? Right? Like if you're thinking about every time when I used to talk to Ataxia, and obviously he'll be on, I think, tomorrow, and we're going to talk about a lot of this stuff. I'd always think about what's the future use case of this, and what is, if I were to play this forward a year from now, 2 years from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, what does the future case look like on this? And you're talking about bridging chains, doing it that easily, and what does scalability look like? You can start to get a feel for it. I got your chart up there too on what this could eventually look like, and it is crazy if you can switch chains like that.
Man, it's great, and these tokens here that I'm showing you is like the beginning.
Yeah.
Ion and AKT, these are all enabled, right? We've got Secret coming in, right? We've got Key Club coming in. You have, you've caught me out. I'll tell you what. NGM obviously was a stable coin that we're talking about. Once you imagine when you get a stable coin on this.
Well, no, it's money markets. Money markets are a big fucking deal.
Swap into a stable.
Absolutely.
Decentralized. Amazing.
Look, as much as it's dumb, and I don't stable that often because I'm generally macro. I'm generally macro bullish on crypto, so I don't stable often. It takes a pretty big event for me to do that. That said, I understand that macro and stable money markets matter for a chain to grow. Okay. Big boys with stacks much larger than yours and mine, 8-9 figure stacks, need money markets or they're not coming. Okay. And you just told us that money markets are starting right now. Okay. So you tell me that they're just starting. Now is when you want to come. Okay. Now is when you want to get on, because when those guys come, they literally inflate the entire ecosystem. So that's the move. So I know that we've gone even further than you said the time you even had. So this is a great rundown. I'm going to edit this a little bit down a little bit further so we can we're going to use this in two ways. One, I'm going to put this onto the stream and then talk about it and take questions. And if You know,
Man,
you're not on. We're circling back. Yeah, and then also I'll put this on as like a standalone video too. Just put it on YouTube so we can share, so people can look. So there'll be two ways people can take a look at it. I'll probably edit out at this point of us talking about it, but you know. but either way, I think this is pretty wild. And the nice thing is, hopefully, you'll be willing to come on and tell us when new stuff's developing, and give all the Stack Labs and all of our listeners some alpha before the markets happen, right? Huh?
Mate, I love it. I love what you do, man. It's great, and the content's good. You've come across excellent. So
I appreciate that.
I love talking about it, and it's it's good practice for me as well to sort of promote the ecosystem and show we can show chains that we're making an effort.
Yeah.
You get rewarded for it. There's good airdrops on their way as well, and that's another thing that stack at them. Get whatever you're not using on Osmosis, get it into that Kepler wallet here, mate. Now this is for everybody if they want, but you just click stake, and literally there's a list of validators that will appear.
Okay.
And you just stake to them. It's as simple as that.
It doesn't matter which one.
Do not stake to Binance.
Okay.
Do not. There's a reason why they're the biggest, is because they're just greedy bastards and they don't do any governance on it. They don't do any governance. They don't vote.
Hey, scroll down a little bit. People can't see. Scroll down on your screen a little bit. So our heads are in the way. There you go. Okay, stop right there. Okay, so Binance, don't do Binance.
Don't do them either. They're another fucking greedy bunch. It's like they're all centralized, these lot.
Okay.
You don't want them in there. You see these people here, these people actually help develop Cosmos. They build stuff. Kraken's, that's a centralized exchange. We're not interested in them. SG1 is good friends of mine. They're amazing. Cosmos Station develop wallets on Cosmos. They're a fantastic bunch. You see these people here that charge the more commission generally are the people who are actually working on it to make it better. Do you know what I mean? So just have that in mind. But also, you can have a look at the bottom validators and some people who are not. He's a friend of mine and he's only got 225 Atom. But he's very knowledgeable and he builds stuff on Juno. He's a good guy. And he knows his stuff. So
scroll up a little bit. Scroll up a little bit. It's just out of the way.
Oh, sorry, man.
Oh, sorry. Oh, it was Easy Stake. There you go. EasyStaking.io. Yeah.
Yes, I mean, the point I'm making is if you delegate to the smaller validators, you're keeping the consensus more decentralized.
Sure.
It's not one validator, because the voting power works like that. The person with the most stake gets more chance of mining a block, you see. So it's better to actually delegate to the lower validators.
Yeah, down chain a little bit. Sure.
Even Steven. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, it's the same on all the chains here, you see. And you can see, let me see if I can, so you've got all these mint scans, but you can see my validator up here as well if I get to. But yeah, that's it, mate. And just get your Atom staked and you will qualify for airdrops in the future. Because what happens is they'll take a snapshot of the whole chain and it'll show everybody's staking balance. And if you've got a positive Cosmos balance, then whatever token's coming out and gives an airdrop, they'll match it 1-to-1 to your Atom balance.
So even if you're not trading or participating not necessarily what we just did with like bonding on an LP token per se, but if you're just like holding in a wallet like I am, just get it staked with a validator, will get you eligible for airdrops.
Yeah, absolutely. Man.
Got it.
Absolutely.
No, that's good to know. I mean, look, I don't know. I mean, I'm going to look around. I'll buy whatever you tell me to because I feel like you know better than I do. But at the very least, I'll.
I've got a piece of absolutely everything on Cosmos, mate.
Sure. I mean, you should, right? Like if you know what the good projects are and you believe in it, you should. And obviously, I'm a macro player. Atom looks big, so I'm in. And if there's some other good stuff, I'll look there too. But at the very, very least, I'll stake, I'll take airdrops. Airdrops are the king, and that brings people coming. So let's do that too. Why not, right?
Definitely.
That's good stuff. Well, hey,
you're going to be streaming later, then I might catch you later. If not, I need to go and tend to the kids now.
Yeah. No. Please do. Oh, I got to cut this one up. So I don't know if I'm streaming today or tomorrow, but it'll be one of the 2 days.
Yeah. Oh, wicked.
That sounds good. Well, hey, Highlander, I appreciate it. I'm glad we did this, and hopefully we'll be able to pull you back on and answer some questions live at some point here too. But this is really good stuff. I'm excited I got on, and thank you for helping me personally too.
My pleasure, mate. You take care, and good night, everybody, and good luck.
All right.
Stay safe.
Yeah, sounds good. Cheers.